All right, we're rolling. We are back.
What?
1 point conversion episode 26 on
Nice.
the eve of 2026. Look at how that we did the 25th just before Christmas and the 26th before 2026, which means episode 27 will come out exactly 1 year from today on the eve of 2027.
Hell yeah.
Not actually. We'll be back next week. But yeah, it's just the way that our schedule has fallen. And it's actually 26 episodes that actually does kind of match us up for about half a year since we started, because we started during
no bouts about it
in the summer, which is pretty good. That's actually kind of crazy. By the time we get to episode 52, we'll be at about a year, maybe a little over. We'll have to go back and look at when we uploaded that first or recorded that first episode, and we'll do some sort of 1 year thing.
We probably hit it last week because we've had a few episodes go over an hour, but we've had a few go under an hour. But we have a full day of content now, so you could spend a whole day watching 1 point conversion if you want.
I didn't even think about that. That is true. That probably would be that'd be a pretty good day.
Yeah, if you guys got any lingering PTO.
Yeah. I want to go back and like pinpoint which things happened in which episodes. I feel like we've got some good like fun moments, but I don't remember at all what episode those occurred in. I'll have to like go back through and watch some of the videos, drop a like on the YouTube video so I just like have it saved.
Yeah.
Or like keep a note of something. But yeah, episode 26. We're recording this a few days after the Bears game.
Niners game.
Yeah, Bears Niners the Monday after. Basically, if we're not recording on a Monday, it's basically because I was like, we'll record tomorrow, and then I forget that I have plans the next day, and I'm like, all right, I can't actually record tomorrow, but I can record the day after, which is what happened.
That does happen. But we're still here. We're still here. What's that from? That's like a football thing, but I don't know what that's from.
Yeah, Monday I was just scrolling for like 5 hours. Like 5 hours on end, and then
it's good reps.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like recording.
Sometimes it's a scroll day. Sometimes it's a watch 24 hours of 1 point conversion day.
It would have been really hard to go from like you get your brain in like real scrolling mode, and then it's like you gotta go record a pocket. It just sometimes it don't work. But you know what I did today?
Yeah.
You know what I did today? I spent some of my Christmas money on Madden Cash, and I opened some Madden packs, packed a limited Darren Waller, sold him for like 1.4 million coins, and I built a sick ass Bears theme team with it. Oh, nice. And I have like one of the better Bears theme teams in the game right now that actually is like only Bears. Like these guys were known for being Bears more than anything.
Who do you need? Who do you still need? Do you got Mike Singletary on there?
I don't even know if he has a card. I couldn't find it. But there are guys like Jimmy Graham, who's probably like a saint in this game.
It's the chemistry
or like Julius Peppers, who like gets like Panthers cards.
So what if Antoine Randall comes out with a 99 overall card?
Oh, he's allowed. He better get Bears chemistry too. That's some bullshit if he doesn't.
That'd be sick.
But yeah, I built a very sick Bears theme team. There's a new like Christmas Caleb Williams that dropped, and the card is insane. So I really wanted to mess around with that. Matt, it's so overrated. I had a lot of fun building the team, and then I started playing, and I was like, I totally remember why I no longer play this game. But it was fun to like be able to hop on, pack a sick card, and actually build a theme team, because I've like done this in years past, and then I like get nowhere where I need to be to build the theme team. And I just burned money, but it was some ethical Madden. So
ethical.
Now I'm ready to talk Bears. I made a Jack's Pizza. Watched.
Are you ready? Are you ready for some tryptophobia?
I don't even think that's what it's called, but
that is what it's called, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's trypophobia.
Oh, it's the same shit. You forget I'm representing the community, the NDA.
It is trypophobia. Yeah. My brother watches these and he hates trypophobia.
Shout out Frank. He also doesn't like that name, I don't believe. Yeah, that's pretty fucked. See, like, trypophobia, in my opinion, is like not really a real thing. People just don't like pictures of like hands with holes in them. This is like this might get we might get demonetized now.
That was really gross. The people who are well, I mean, normally we have audio listeners, but unfortunately, this podcast is only available on YouTube, and you have to watch. So you had to be witness to that.
Yep.
I will not apologize. That was a good bit. Let's get into the Bears game. The Bears played like an instant classic. It was a lot of fun.
Great game, very fun. I will say, now I get the take of like there's like three things going on in my head. Like, I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, we can never take a moral victory. Like, every loss has to suck, right? Like, I don't want to be that guy. I also don't want to be the guy that's like, oh my gosh, best loss of all time. Like, it was still a loss, right? But like, it was a very fun game to watch. The ending did kind of break my heart, but about 45 minutes later, I was fine. It was just like, you have a play that you can win a game on against a very good team in their stadium and kind of, solidify or continue to prove your MO as a team, which is, when the lights are brightest, we get it done. And you didn't. But hey, not the worst thing in the world. I just don't want to be too happy about a loss, if that's fair.
Yeah, I agree. There is sort of a balance between sort of like excusing losses and being like, oh, we lost, but like at the end of the day, you lost, so you can't really like celebrate too much. But
exactly,
I think the best part about this season is that even in some of our losses, it's like there are so many good takeaways. That I'd say the first two losses sucked, and the Ravens loss really sucked. The Ravens loss wasn't that bad, but like it sucked because it was Tyler Huntley. The first two losses, week one really sucked because we didn't know what was coming. Week two also sucked, but like Caleb had shown like a lot of flashes, and also like Ben at that point was like, our practice habits have yet to reflect that of a championship caliber team, and I was like, okay, they're going to lock in. But
I think we sacrificed the Packers win in 2024 for the first 2 weeks of this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's facts. That is true. No, the two most recent losses against Green Bay and San Fran are very much so like losses you can live with, because you played pretty damn well with some pretty damn good football teams, and then gave yourself a chance to win at the end because of your quarterback and because of your coach and because of your playmakers, which like typically is not something that the Bears get to do. Like, we're normally not in those scenarios. We're typically on the other end, and like our defense has to hold, or we like end up being the guys who give it up at the end. And that's how we lose. So and to also, lose in this fashion is a lot nicer than how it's been in years past.
Yeah, I was just to talk about years past. Like, we've both seen the Bears game 50 times where we somehow get the ball back with like not a lot of time left. God knows how it's a 1-score game still, because it feels like we're down by 6 scores. And then we just put together a pathetic 4 plays that result in 0 yards. And like, we kind of pretend like we had a chance to win the game, but like really we didn't. And that's not the case in these losses. Like,
no,
1 or 2 plays goes your way versus going their way, and we're going to win. And, in both of those games, Packers, 49ers, we had a chance to seal the game, kind of, I guess, if you consider going for 2 in the Green Bay game, with basically no time left. So, at least from a coaching standpoint, like, that's where you want to be,
Yeah. And I feel like we're not
everything like that.
Yeah. We're not far enough removed from being like a terrible fucking football team to, as a fan base, get upset about us losing games in this fashion.
Yeah.
Like, we're playing meaningful football, and we're hanging around with some of the best teams in the league, and we finally have a quarterback who can keep us alive. Like, be grateful for that. And then if if that doesn't progress into playoff wins and hopefully eventually a Super Bowl win after X amount of years, then you can start to get upset at losing these types of games, because the standard has been raised. We have already exceeded the standard by so much going into this year that as a fan base, I feel like we should do nothing but enjoy it. It's like I think it's a tough thing to do, because it's really easy to get really excited and be like, I want more. But also like this is like the most we've ever gotten as a fan base. Like I'm just trying to enjoy it and like be grateful for the fact that I have like pride in this team now, and we can play in shootouts with teams that are vying for a Super Bowl, playing for the 1 seed, and could be the best team in the NFL. So we'll see how it plays out. You learned something about your team this week and about an opponent that you might see again in the future, which is huge. So I'm very proud of how they played.
For sure.
Well, we can get more into the nuance, but I think generally that was an awesome game, and one of the
most fun games I've watched for the first. Like if you take away the last play, like that's play for play, probably the most fun I've had watching a Bears game. Play for play, at least, like ever. I think, like it's fair to say, and I mean, I want to give a shout. Obviously, the two of us, very ethical ball watchers. We're never gonna, outright blame the refs or blame one player or blame one coach. But as a fan base, I really do have to say, at least just observing from a 1,000-foot view on Twitter, it doesn't seem like we're doing the bitchy crybaby stuff. Like we're kind of just like, okay, we lost, no excuses, got to be better. Defense wasn't good, but like it seems like we're taking it in stride. I like it.
I think that might be sort of a side effect of like the announcers are doing that for us, and then we get pissed at the announcers for doing what we used to do. Like Chris Collinsworth being like, Caleb Williams has to hit Devin Duvernay on that throw, the one where like Duvernay's running in the flat. He's wide open because the blitz is coming from the side that he's running towards. Caleb's rolling back and he sort of dirts it because it's a incredibly difficult throw to make.
I think he tries to throw it to Duvernay, but I mean, we'll talk about that play later.
It just doesn't get there because it's an incredibly challenging throw. We are fortunate enough to have a quarterback who can make that throw, but he's not going to make it every time. Whereas there are quarterbacks who have literally a 0% chance of ever making that throw in their lifetime. So then when the announcers are like, "Oh, Caleb should be better," like he's got to hit that. That's those are the mistakes he's still making. Like, no, he could be, but like that's something again that's like exclusive to very talented quarterbacks, and when they don't do it, it's not because like they're bad, it's because they just don't happen every single time.
Like if you got Tony Allen guarding you at the perimeter and you're able to shake him and get to the cup, and then you smoke a bunny, like you missed the layup, but most guys are not getting to the cup there, you know what I mean? So it's like you can say, oh, what an idiot, he missed the layup, but like no one else is getting that shot. No one's getting that shot.
Did someone give you like a list of phrases to sneak into
that? Was pretty good, right? That was pretty good. If you're playing bingo at home, hopefully I helped you out a little bit there. We had to go Hooper head for a second there.
Yeah, but So I think part of that reason with the Bears fans not bitching is that the announcing has sort of done the bitching for us, and then we just get mad at them because it's like you have no right. You have no right to bitch about our team. Like we are the ones who've suffered. But also I think there's just like not much to bitch about. At the end of the day, you had a chance to win. You put up 38 points. Your defense, while they got a pick six in the first play, which was awesome, didn't do enough for the rest of the game to survive. But again, you're playing. I think it's pretty fair and obvious to say that you're playing it was the two best offensive play callers in the NFL. And I'd say right now, Ben Johnson is probably still 2. So you're going up against the best play caller in the NFL, and that's just going to happen. You hope that you can put yourself in an opportunity to get that game again and be better. But I don't know. I feel like there's not much to complain about in general, at least about this game. I think when the Bears lost to the Packers, there were a lot of fans saying like, "Oh, he should have thrown it to DJ. He should have ran. He should have thrown it to Swift." And there are some people saying he should have thrown it to Swift underneath on the last play. But that
probably wouldn't have hated that in hindsight, but that's in hindsight.
Which I guess is sort of negating my point of Bears fans not pitching. But like, I'd say that's a very, very small minority of people.
Well, it's also a fine line between bitching and just like pointing out like stuff to critique, like it's fun to talk about. Like if you swing the ball to DeAndre there, you obviously have a better chance of scoring than not giving a receiver a real chance to catch the ball. But if you pass the ball to DeAndre there, I'd probably say he has about a 30% chance of scoring. Safety's following him stride for stride. You'd have to make him miss at like the 2 or 3 yard line and then find a way to get in the end zone. Like it would not have been an easy play. But yeah, I mean, also if you're Caleb, like just you're almost certainly not going to throw the ball short of the goal line there. Like I would kind of like, even if the play to Swift worked, it almost would have been like okay, we kind of got away with one there situation, because you if there's 4 seconds left, if you know it's your last play, you got to put the ball in the end zone, which, he did. So we'll talk about that play, I'm sure, but
yeah. I mean, we can talk about that play now. I feel like letting Caleb extend the play and try to find a guy downfield is a higher than 30% probability of working than had he just dumped it off to Swift.
I agree.
And at the end of the day, Caleb's rolling out didn't work. So it was, obviously one of the attempts that doesn't go your way. But I still think I will take Caleb being able to extend a play and find a guy every single time over letting DeAndre Swift go 1v1 against a guy to the pylon or goal line.
I like also that, like, you got Ben Johnson, who you mentioned is second, if not arguably the best play caller in the NFL. And he obviously has, a deep bag of tricks, as we saw on the play before that one. But when it comes down to it, he's confident enough in Caleb to just be like, hey, go win us the game. I don't need to get fancy here. I don't need to do any bullshit. Like, we're just going to have our best players try to win the game against your best players, which I think is, even if you don't totally believe that, if you're Ben Johnson, like, even if you want to run a trick play, that's just really good for the team morale to be like, okay, guys, like, when it comes down to it, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to go win the game. Like, I love having that kind of identity and that kind of like that just identity, I guess. It's
I want to bring something up in regards to that lateral play. I subscribed to the QB School Patreon after that game.
Nice.
Did you watch this week's video? Of
course.
Okay, so he had well, for people who don't know, the QB School is JT O'Sullivan, ex NFL quarterback. Basically does super in-depth film breakdowns.
He's the only Irish quarterback in NFL history.
Really?
No, but
I don't. That was stupid. I don't know why I got baited by that.
JJ McCarthy, come on.
Yeah. Basically, he's milked the Bears fan base completely dry just by doing like film breakdowns of Justin Fields and Caleb Williams. But
he's a big Caleb guy.
Yeah. He's a much bigger. He's a believer in Caleb. He hates DJ Moore. But
he doesn't like. He doesn't like him. He doesn't like him.
Anyways, he had an interesting take about the lateral play.
I kind of agreed
in that when you get down into a gotta have it scenarios, whether it's whatever, 3rd, 4th down, or you need a touchdown to win the game, to depend on your players and not your plays, which I heard that, and he had a good justification for it, which was, if the play doesn't work and you leave the game having never given your players a shot to win, did you really, was that really your best shot at it? Right. And I will go as far as to say that in most instances that is true. With Ben Johnson and that lateral play, it is not true, because that play is awesome and you get the coverage look that you were originally anticipating, and it's a touchdown, and he's the greatest play caller of all time. Obviously didn't work, but you still had a chance after that to put the ball in your best player's hands, number 18, and let him go to work. Obviously didn't work out. I will take Ben Johnson going into his bag of tricks and anticipating looks that he sees and attacking that, because that is how you play football, and that is how you coach football, is, watching the film and seeing what the defense is giving you and making your decisions based upon that. Now, if you were anticipating man coverage, is there something you could have drawn up that was a better man beater than that lateral play? Sure. But is it as cool? Is it as revolutionary? Is it as good for the future of the NFL? Does it get you closer to being in the Hall of Fame as a head coach? I'm going to take Ben Johnson and his laterals and his gimmicks. I'll take. I hate even calling it a gimmick because it is not. Like, it is calculated. I think gimmicks are.
Yeah, if you associate a negative connotation with the word gimmick, then let's not call it a gimmick. But if you just want to say it that it's a gimmick, as in like it is gimmicky, like yeah, it's definitely gimmicky.
Yeah, I just think a gimmick sort of implies
it's cheap. It's kind of a cheap way. Like it's kind of like if that happens to you as a defense and you did everything right, but they threw a fucking lateral and like, what are you supposed to do about that? Like you'd be pretty pissed. You'd feel like you kind of got not like cheated as in like, you know, they stole it from you in an unfair way, but cheated in terms of like, I didn't know they were allowed to do that kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I loved the play from like you were saying, from like the cool aspect, from the lore aspect, from the legacy aspect, from the put something on tape aspect too, because you know I kind of like that idea.
The fake, you rip a fake lateral too,
fake, or just you know just get whoever's about to make the tackle to think for an extra quarter millisecond. You know what I mean? I love that. I love the idea of that. But yeah, I mean here's the like the JT O'Sullivan take. I kind of agreed with what he was saying, like in terms of, hey, you've got Caleb Williams, you've got, you know, not in this game, but Rome and Loveland and Burden and guys that are going to make plays for years to come. Give him a chance to win the game. Like I like that take, but given what Ben Johnson did, right? I think you can be kind of justly mad at him, but then when he goes to the podium and says what he says, then you can't be mad at him. And you know what I mean? Like he wears that. He takes credit for the loss and says that, you know, he didn't draw up a perfect play on the last play and that, you know, like he kind of stands by the lateral, but he kind of took heat for it, I guess, whatever reason, right? Like he says the right things in the aftermath to keep the locker room or to whatever you want to say. So I'm fine with it. I
that definitely that plays a huge part in it, because if you go out there and you lateral and you just go out there and say like, hey, yeah, I like that play there. I thought it would work for us. Then there's sort of some questions, because it's like, okay, well, why did you like the play? And he explains it like so clearly to the point where like even a pretty casual football fan can understand what the intention was. And it was that Colston Loveland lines up on the outside. They're anticipating man coverage, so they expect that outside corner who's on Loveland is supposed to follow him inside when he catches it, so that when he laterals to Swift, the outside is wide open. That doesn't happen, which you can't. After the play is called on a play like that, where the design is pretty strict, you can't really sort of diverge from what your plan is.
Right.
But for the intention is correct. So to be able to justify it like he does, and for it to be, you know, digestible and like understandable for pretty casual fans. I mean, I wouldn't say we're casual fans by any means, but for it to be understood well enough so that casual fans are not like freaking out over it is a big part of, you know, maintaining your image as a coach.
Yeah.
And I think that I think that, you know, laterals are the future, but
yeah, I love it. And like also just a note on that, I guess, real quick, like as a rugby player, as you know, a podcast that has two guys that have played semi-professional rugby, we'll call it.
That's true. Semi-pro.
Yeah.
Quarter
like
pro.
That kind of lateral where you're pitching it by turning your hips the other way, it's called like a switch in rugby, right? The idea of it is you're basically making a humanly impossible juke. So like Colston Loveland, who's running essentially not full speed, but he's running with speed to one direction, is passing it to another guy who's running full speed in the other direction. So you're essentially making a juke, but just doing it faster than any human could ever do. So like,
yeah,
if you're confident that your guys can pull that play off, then like it's really not as like risky or gimmicky or whatever you want to call it as you might think, because it's a very common play in the most similar sport to football. So like, you know, I don't like the idea of people kind of looking at that as like, oh, that's a bullshit, like candy ass fucking.
No, I want to bring up the tweet that I sent you earlier about Ben Johnson talking about that play, because the people who think that laterals are gimmicky, they're going to learn, and they're going to learn very soon that it is the future of football, and the first team to do it is going to
arguably the past of football too.
Run shit. Arguably the past of football. But yeah, Ben Johnson got asked by Jeff Joniak, I think, on the Bears podcast this week about running hook and ladder plays, and he said, "I think we're just scratching the surface of what you can do in that lateral world. Would like to see if we can take that to the next level over the course of the next few seasons."
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love it.
There's that tweet is a quote tweet of what Ben Johnson said last year when he was with Detroit, because they were doing similar things back then. And it was, he was asked whether he envisions hook and ladders becoming more popular. And he said, "I'm sure triple option, speed option, back before I was born, that was seen as a risky play. And you get the science down, the pitch relationship, when to do it. And teams just made that their whole offense for 80 plays in a game. And so why is it any different down the field?"
Facts, dude.
And everyone, all the comments, it's 3 people tagging PFT, which is hilarious.
Love it.
PFT knows, but
PFT rugby guy.
I could not be happier that our coach is a believer in the laterals. And I've talked about it so many times that when you look at the numbers, it is the most efficient play in football, to the point where, again, so this is something that like Ben Johnson talked about with coming in here and trying to help Caleb take less sacks, and that when you take a sack on first or second down on a drive, it kills your likelihood to score. It has a worse EPA sometimes than actual turnovers do. You can throw an interception down the field, and at the end of the day, like, your likelihood of scoring might not go down as much as it would if you took a 15-yard sack on first or second down. It's crazy to think, but like,
I mean, the Lions won a game last year where they threw 100 picks.
Exactly. They're in some form, like they're basically punts, whereas sacks, can result in fumbles. You're driving your team backwards. So turnovers situationally are not the worst thing ever, and there is a sort of way to play with the risk of lateraling, because you risk fumbling. But at the end of the day, if it is more beneficial to lateral, you're going to gain more yards, you're going to score more touchdowns. If you fumble 2 or 3 times, but you're scoring 10 times a game because you literally, like, nobody can stop it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Go out there and lateral football. I think Ben Johnson knows that more than any coach in the league right now, outside of maybe the Bills head coach. I'm totally blanking on his name right now.
Like the current Bills head coach?
They do a lot of lateraling.
They do like football laterals though, rather than like rugby lateral.
It's a little more pure hook and laddery.
Sean McDermott, right?
Sean McDermott, yes. Sean McDermott knows, so he is in the know about the potential lateral. He's noticing.
I was just gonna say something like that. Yeah, he's an interesting cat for sure. He's good at getting the guys to band together. We'll say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're going to allow your guys to hurdle, if you're going to allow your guys to extend the ball at the goal line, if you're going to allow your guys to be athletes, then let them, to an extent, obviously not willy-nilly, but let them learn how to lateral the ball and find situations where it makes sense to do so. We've talked about it before, but if you are not in front of the ball carrier on a play downfield, there's pretty much nothing you can do to help your team in that situation, right? Like, you can go and hit somebody for no reason and have a good time because hitting people is fun, but like, you're not actually gonna help your team score. But if you're able to get into a pitch relation, if you're able to get, in the pocket of the ball carrier, you're basically making it impossible for one defender to make a play. So I love it. We've also talked about making scenarios too, like, because you can save a lot of time in situations
lateral
where you're going
to the sideline. Lateral to the side. I'm praying that a Bears player comes into the Barstool Chicago office so I can talk to them and tell them,
sit them down.
You need to relay this information to Ben Johnson immediately.
Talk to Cream, bro.
But I don't know if Cream actually. Well, I don't know about Cream.
Whoa, you don't know about Cream?
No, I mean, he's valid. I don't know if he can get my information to where it needs to be.
I trust Cream, bro. But that's just me.
Maybe I'll tell Big Cat. Yeah, it's a big cat because he might be able. He might like.
You
He might appreciate what I'm trying to do as far as helping the team.
For sure.
But he also might just think it's stupid. We'll see.
We'll see. And if he thinks it's stupid, then maybe it is. But I don't think it is.
No, and it'd be worth it for the prospect of
for the Banta.
To see the team do it, to see any team do it after having mentioned it. That would be pretty awesome. But yeah, that lateral play was awesome, and I'd love to see it happen again.
For sure.
Maybe we'll do it in a situation not as dire as going for a game-winning touchdown potentially. But I'm very excited that he is not at all turned off by the fact that it didn't result in a touchdown. But what else from that game? Luther Burden is a fucking stud, and I am buying all the Luther Burden stock I could possibly buy. I was going to buy a couple like Luther Burden, like Mizzou cards or rookie cards, whatever I could get my hands on, but I couldn't really I don't know the first thing about buying cards. They're probably a lot more expensive than when I was going to buy them a few weeks ago. I'm so confident he is going to be the best wide receiver to ever play for the Chicago Bears. And I've never felt that way about any Bears receiving prospect.
Not even Kevin?
No, and I didn't care enough about the Bears when we drafted Kevin White. We were what, like 13 years old? Like, he was exciting, but he just never played.
Cold. He caught a sick Hail Mary in college, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's going to be good."
Yeah, but, he caught a not so sick Hail Mary for the Bears.
Well, at least he was happy afterwards. At least he was laughing after the game. Whatever. I don't want to talk about Kevin, but
we'll talk about Luther.
I don't want to talk about any Kevins related to the Bears, actually. But
Kevin?
Yeah, Luther was fucking holidays. Shout out. That house also got bought recently, and they're gonna
restore it.
Home Alone. Pretty sick.
Yeah, it's all millennial gray right now.
Yeah, it's just nasty.
Bringing it back to the 70s.
Give it
it's gonna look like your basement.
True. Shop basement. But Luther, I mean, breakout game, you could call it that. I think a lot of people it was more of a when than if at this point, but just a couple notes on him. So he had that play, I guess it was I think it was last week against the Packers, where he made like the nice spin move, and then he kind of made another move, but then he kind of like went down short of the sticks. Do you remember
that?
You definitely remember the play. Like, he caught the ball on the flat.
Sorry.
This was against the Packers. He caught the ball on the flat. He like made a spin move.
Yeah.
And then he kind of like dove at the sticks, but it was short.
Yes.
So he like probably could have fought for an extra yard or two there, but like it's nitpicky, whatever. But then to like in the 49ers game, he was seeking contact. He was finishing every run. So I don't know if it came up in film or if it was a personal thing or whatever, but like the dude was fighting for every inch on the football field. He had the spin on the far sideline. I think it was one of his first catches of the game that he got an extra like 6 yards on for no reason. That was awesome. He had the cross route like that he caught a couple yards in front of the line of scrimmage, took it almost to the house, got rocked at the end of it. Like, he could have easily ran out of bounds and angled it out of bounds there, but he decided to stay in bounds, pick up extra yards. He had the one on the blitz where he caught it, and it looked he might have came out of the backfield on this one, but he caught it like in the I'm talking about on the right side of the field, and then again he could have ran out of bounds, but he bananaed it like a rugby player, ran back in bounds and took an extra couple yards. And then of course he had the super clutch, super sick third down conversion where he made, I forget who it was on the 49ers, but he ate his lunch twice. Like, that was unreal. That was sexy. Like, that was crazy. And then just last comment on Luther, you as a gambler, as a gambler graphic creator, do you think over under on Luther Burden's career taunting yards? What's that line at?
Luther Burden will account for 1,000 yards and penalties by year 5.
Yes, that is.
But by year 5, he'll be like a consensus top 5 receiver in the NFL. Mm-hmm. That's my take. Yeah, I think I one of my least favorite things about football, the game, the way the game is played today is players just like lollygag, like jogging out of bounds, instead of like taking contact. You are wasting yardage.
It's a game of
You
inches, and it
are
really
losing
is.
opportunities. Yes, you need to take every single yard you can get. And the Bears have two guys who consistently seek contact and cut back inside, and it works. Like they gain an extra like 7 or 8 yards like every time. And it's Monongai and it's Luther Burden. To have not only to have two guys, but for them to be rookies who are doing that, and to know that they're going to be on your team for a long time, is awesome. I am so excited about their futures. Luther Burden, more like I've really come around on Colston Loveland. I think he's going to be great. Like I am
really.
Yes, I think he's going to be very, very good. I think Ben Johnson absolutely loves him. And I think Caleb really, really likes him too. Like he's very quickly becoming a safety blanket, incredible hands.
Yep.
What really excited me about him was
fourth downs. We seek him.
Fourth downs, yes, but also on the free play for him to recognize where Caleb is scrambling, to immediately just like take off for the end zone, realize he's got a linebacker on him, and no linebacker is going to be able to keep up with the Colston. Caleb identifies that, throws a rope. That ball does not go more than 20 yards in the air, and it gets there in like 2 seconds. It's insane.
It's perfect throw too.
So for Colston to do that, I like at this age, he's literally still he's 21 right now. Very, very excited. But I think Luther is that much better. Like I am so, I don't know. I genuinely, I don't know if there's a player who accelerates faster than Luther Burden in the NFL right now. Like Tyreek Hill obviously is not playing. So I probably give it to Tyreek. Like JMO has the same top end speed.
3 steps. Yeah, JMO's not that quick though.
Not that quick, but top end is crazy. Like his strides are insane.
About as good as anybody.
Devon Chan is really fast, but like again, sort of a guy who takes about a second or two to get up to top end speed. Luther, he is too fast for his own shoes. Like he gets insane. The ball and he'll go to take off and he'll fall in the backfield. It's happened like 4 times this season.
Yeah, it's true.
Like he's still a rookie getting his footing, but I don't think it's really because he's like a rookie. I think it's because he's so fast that he literally just like his feet just get left behind. It's insane. I have not seen someone move like Luther Burden does in a long time. He might not be like the most
like Loki.
No. Kadarius Toney was more like lateral movement. Like he was real shifty, but didn't have the speed. Luther, like his route running is not like the most polished, but it's pretty good. And when you combine
it's really good. The
speed especially that he has stuff. And his ability to separate, like that is the difference maker. So that speed is just like natural. And then the route running, the catching ability, like that stuff gets better as you progress, as you become, a veteran. His trajectory is sky high. I don't think there's a guy with the ball in their hands who
is the key right
more dangerous than him outside of like Bijan Robinson, Saquon, like running backs, literally. Like those are the only dudes who I would be like more scared. It's insane.
Yeah, and no, you made a really good point too that like his route running isn't necessarily polished yet, even though it looks good at times. Mm-hmm. But like the thing on him, one of the big like scouting like comments, I guess, or things that you just kind of hear about him in college was, we got to find a way to get this guy to run his routes like he runs when he has the ball. Because they would run him a lot of stuff out of the backfield, a lot of screen game stuff, because there's just something in him that like when he has the ball, he just is able to hit another echelon. It's really crazy. Like, I mean, it's true what you're saying. There's nobody, at least off the top of the head, that moves quite like him, which is just, I mean, when you got a 22-year-old that's doing that, that's pretty fucking special.
I would say like Jamar Chase probably is like, Jamar Chase's run after the catch ability is super underrated because of how good he is as a wide receiver. Same with Malik Neighbors maybe. But Luther is sort of I would say Luther is more dangerous after the catch than those guys, but before the catch is where those guys sort of, really separate themselves and make themselves, as good as they are. I think Luther can get there. And I think a super important part about his development is that in Ben Johnson's system, you're never asked to like go be a guy who needs to win one-on-one. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true too.
You will get schemed open. Like,
yeah, it's true.
You don't have to be the most technical route runner. Now you need to be detailed. Like, you have to run your routes at the depth that they're meant to be ran and stay on time. But you don't have to be like this Justin Jefferson, this Devontae Adams level route runner to
it's like
to separate
you to win every single time. Yeah.
Exactly. So he is going to get the ball, and Ben Johnson, I know, is going to find ways to feed him in the future.
Oh,
I think this next game and throughout the playoffs, we are going to see a lot of Luther Burden.
Yes, sir.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, no, that's facts. And another note on just like scheming guys open. If you have like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, like sure, those guys are blue chip guys that can kind of win you games, or maybe kind of open up Super Bowl windows. But then when you get in a matchup where it's like, oh, we can take that guy away, well, what are you going to do now? You know what I mean? And we're never going to run into that problem because our scheme is what's leading the charge, not our necessarily player talent in that regard. Another quick note on Luther. Here's the last like 15 to 20 second round wide receivers that have been taken in the NFL draft. Jaden Higgins, Trey Harris, Jack Beck, Keon Coleman, Ladd McConkey, fucking Jalen Polk, Adonai Mitchell,
Adonai,
yeah, whatever. Jonathan Mingo, Jaden Reed, Rashid Rice, Marvin Mims, Christian Watson, Wan'Dale Robinson, John Mechie, Tyquan Thornton, George Pickens, Alec Pierce, Sky Moore. Like literally none of those guys are like wide receiver ones other than Ladd. And even Ladd is like, for as good as he is, you can understand why a guy like him goes in the second round. Luther is looking like one of the biggest steals of all time.
Yeah. Like, have you seen the yards per route run stat?
Yeah.
Wide receivers since 2014. Rookie wide receivers who lead in yards per route run. I'll try to explain.
Like 3.
Yes. Yeah. So yards per route run is like one of the most telling statistics of how good and how efficient a wide receiver is. You can look at cumulative stats like how many catches they have, how many touchdowns, how many yards. But yards per route run literally tells you like it's basically it's the amount of yards they have divided by the amount of routes they run, not how many catches they have, not how many times they're targeted. It's literally how many routes they run. Right. So like you have to not only be put on the field, but you have to like capitalize, like you have to win, or you have to be super efficient when you have the ball in your hands. Every leader, everybody who's a leader in yards per route run is like a very, very elite, talented wide receiver. And the rookies since 2014 who lead in yards per route run, like Puka Nacua, I'm pretty sure is 2. Odell Beckham Jr. is 3.
Devontae Adams is up there.
Yeah, I don't know because Devontae didn't have good first few seasons. I think Jamar Chase is up there.
Okay, they're just Jefferson, I think.
I think so. Yeah, all the guys who are at the top of this rookie like yards per route run stat. They're all elite, like top 5 receivers, and Luther Burden is better than all of them by like a pretty significant margin. Yeah, he's top 5 in the NFL right now in yards per route run. And he has 40 receptions on the year. So once his volume, I mean, the moon is the ceiling, right?
For sure. And the ceiling is the roof.
And we're about to blow that shit off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Michael Jordan.
Well, the moon is the ceiling, man.
No, Michael Jordan said the ceiling is the roof.
Ceiling is the roof. Yeah, well, the moon is the ceiling.
I like that. Dude, honestly, the moon might be too low.
Ceiling is, yeah. No, the moon is the floor.
Oh, fuck.
And he's
speaking
really
of a good tagline for a potential company, that might be a good one.
The moon is the floor.
Yeah, dude, Luther he's a special talent. He's a special freaking talent.
And really
I love that stat too, because if you're looking at like receiver stats can be kind of hard sometimes, because it's like if you're T. Higgins and you're probably a top 20-ish wide receiver, but you're the 2 on your team, like sometimes your numbers won't look as good as they might. Sometimes they'll look better than they should. Like, right. If you look at separation stats, like sometimes they're iffy because of just the route tree that a guy's able to run, and also like
you also don't know what a defender's assignment is. So sometimes the defender will play off and kind of boost the separation.
Right.
Yards per route run is like
tagged to production.
It is the purest like measure of efficiency and whether or not you are elite at capitalizing on your opportunities. And Luther Burden is like quite literally the best rookie in the past 11 years. So we have stumbled upon an absolute gem. Very excited about him.
Yep.
We're 45 minutes in. We haven't even covered Caleb. I want to try to not cover too much more about this game, because I think there's, as much as there's a lot to be said, I want to cover some other things without this being a super long episode. I think that was Caleb's best game as a pro. I think we saw a lot of him not only playing in structure, playing under pressure, but also like the deep ball accuracy, sort of the veteran presence with the free play and rolling out and finding Loveland again at the end of the game, leading us into a scoring opportunity. Again, below 60% completion, but who gives a shit? You threw for 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, and absolutely gashed that defense when you needed to. There were 3 drives, I think, where we punted, and that ended up being the difference, which is insane.
Yeah, 2 of them were the first 2 drives, which we went 3 and out on.
But like every other drive was a touchdown, and 1 was a field goal. So
pretty much, yeah. We had 1 other drive that stalled because of penalty, kind of 5-play drive, like I think right before the half, kind of ish.
Yeah. Caleb, he's only getting better. I'm so excited about his potential, and like not even just in the next season, but like just throughout the rest of this season. For him to be developing like mid-season like this and getting better like before your eyes on a week-by-week basis is something I like never thought I'd see. I thought it was always going to take much longer, but he is literally getting better every single week at the most important time. So
yeah, I'm honestly out on Caleb Williams, but we'll see. We'll see. Right, I might totally change my opinion based on me being dead wrong and not wanting to admit that I'm wrong. But I don't know. It depends. I do love Johnny's beef, though. I will say that. Johnny's beef is awesome. Johnny's beef is really good. I have a couple more game notes. We want to go through a couple of those.
Yeah, but let's rapid fire.
Yeah, rapid fire. Joe Tooney, chess guy, pretty sick. That came up.
That is awesome. That is fire. We got to find his chess username.
You got an Elo guess?
I think if anyone is a super high Elo, it's Joe Tooney. Like he's got.
I think he's 1,500 plus. I think he's 1,500 plus around there.
I might add him on Twitter.
See. Joe Tooney. Hopefully, he posts content.
What's your chess Elo, dude?
Another thing I wrote down is I'm really gonna miss these close games where we're making comebacks late, because we're just gonna start winning every game by 30. A little bit of a cocky thing to say, but funny. I guess just a quick question. Last drive, if you had to blame one reason for us not scoring, the drops from Loveland and Burden, the miss to Duvernay, execution on the last play, or just the last play call in general. Do you have anything that stuck in your craw?
About the very last play?
The last drive, because we had the 2 drops. Loveland dropped 1, Burden dropped 1. Both would have helped us move the ball a little bit quicker, maybe get some more plays at the end of that drive. You had the miss to Duvernay, which, Caleb's a very spirally athlete, and he was throwing in a very non-advantageous position where he was basically running backwards and couldn't get his core into the throw. And it just came up short, but like people are obviously going to talk about that. And then just the execution on the last play, and then the the play call, like in general, in the last play?
I will say my 2 parts on this. I don't love the way the clock was managed on the last drive. Now I don't know how much better it could have been managed. But I think they had 3 timeouts at about midfield, and then you only had 4 seconds down on the 4-yard line. You only were able to get 1 play off. I think there were some opportunities for improvement, and I think Ben Johnson knows that, and will hopefully be better going forward. But I think the same thing in the Green Bay game at Lambeau. We were pretty short on time towards the end.
Liberal at the end, yeah.
Now it's not. I've seen some of the worst clock management of all time last year. Quite literally, like. But I think it could be better.
And then eventually best.
And eventually best. And then the last play, I don't have too much to say about it. I think it's a better defensive play call than it was an offensive one. Ben said he couldn't get the play call out on time.
They didn't get lined up perfectly, right?
They got lined up in the wrong formation, couldn't motion like properly to where they wanted to. But Robert Saleh drops 8 dudes into coverage, and still gets a free rusher because our O-line just doesn't realize that
bad rep
who's going. So I think it was just a great defensive play call. There was no one open, and for Caleb to still get it pretty close, like Jahdae Walker was pretty close to coming down with it if the throw just has a little bit more on it. I can't be too upset about it.
Yeah. Also a note on that play. I like people are giving DJ shit, which is like kind of justifiable. That was a pretty bad look, but I think he's jumping. I don't think he'd be jumping if Mitch Trubisky was his quarterback. Let's just put it there, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I think he's like, shit, my boy can make this throw. Fucking flip your hips, you know. Daniel Hardy had a rapid fullback. What was up with that? That was wild. We scored a touchdown on that play too.
Dude, I genuinely think he might have a future at fullback because they were just like go in there and be a fucking wrecking ball. I meant to tweet about that. I totally forgot because I watched the QB school video super late at night. Yeah, he was awesome. It looked like they didn't really like he didn't even have like an assignment, and he was just like, I'm just gonna go pinball off some dudes, and he having an absolute blast.
Like his get off too was like very D lineman-esque. Like it didn't seem like he'd repped this a ton, but I love the idea of Ben just being like, hey, do you want to hit somebody in the face? Yeah, go out there. Okay.
He is one of our best special teamers. He is on
he's been sick.
He's on kickoff, and I really hope that he's a piece of this team next year. And I love that Ben recognizes he plays hard and is like, we're going to put you a fullback.
Reward that. Yeah. So, and that's just like, that's also it's a great culture thing. Cause it's like, hey boys, if you want to play, here's your example. Go do it like DH. Really want to see Caleb have, I guess it would be 269 yards in this next game. And then wait for it. Next year, have 5,000 yards, and then have 5,000 yards for the next 10 years, and then never have.
And we never have a 4,000-yard passer. We only have 5,000-yard.
That would be awesome. That would be so awesome. Like that would be.
That would be cool. That would be very cool. That would be very cool.
Quick note: we got Bird in some punt return kind of looks on offense. Famously, you recently said on this podcast about 20 minutes ago that you don't know if you've seen a better wide receiver in a Bears uniform, but a famously bad wide receiver had Ben Johnson as his coach. The dude over your shoulder.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine, bro? Can you imagine this guy?
Imagine
this guy just get the ball in his hands. They would have. That's why I want. And it'll never happen. It doesn't really make sense because I don't think he's a very good run blocker. But if Zachariah Branch somehow falls in this draft and he becomes a Chicago Bear, this team will be insane. Like it'll just be the stupidest. It's just gonna be guys running circles around the defense.
Yep,
it'd be awesome. It would be so awesome. And then, if we get Zachariah Branch, we can cut Roshan Johnson's stupid guardian cap head ass and give 23 to someone who's actually good at football.
That's true.
Honestly, back in the damn on that
dude,
number.
for a team that has the most retired jerseys in the NFL, we're very loose with 23. And
Kyle Fuller was fine. Kyle Fuller was a dog. He led the league in interceptions in 2018. Like, he was nasty.
He was a dog.
But Roschon Johnson is fucking garbage. Take that shit off of him.
I like Roschon, but he is pretty.
He's
not worthy of 23.
He's a goner. He's gone.
Yeah, he hasn't risen. He hasn't risen to the occasion.
No, you got gifted the best runs, like one of the better run schemers in the NFL, and you can't even get a damn snap. Travis Homer is getting snaps over you. Like, what are you doing, dude?
And the other dude too. Who is the guy that scored a touchdown?
Britton Brown.
Yeah.
Britton Brown.
I don't know. Notice.
Yeah, Roschon's gone. Roschon's gone. Yeah. Glorified special teamer. Take that. Get that jersey number off his fucking. Get it out of here, man.
I have concerns if we want to go rapid fire on him.
Yeah,
it's kind of rage baity. It's kind of rage baity, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so real concern, fake concern. Kyle Monongai got tackled by a chair.
I think Eric Bieniemy is like, he definitely chewed his ass out, because Kyle Monongai, you literally just don't do anything but run directly into the safety, and you have a 70-yard touchdown.
Y button, B button, fucking
literally anything except for up on the right stick. Like, he just pushed straight for the truck. Now, I will say, I love it. I love Kyle Monongai. Like, I love it. It's just in his blood. Like, that's just what he's born to do. Yeah, but I mean, that would have been awesome if he just ran right through him and then took it to the crib. But like, let's bounce it outside next time.
Yeah. Real concern, fake concern. Our boy 2 had 7 yards.
Real concern. I know he had the flu. But so did some other guys, and
like 5'8" who played his ass off.
Yeah. I think there's been too many instances where the effort is not all there. And it's really weird, because there are instances where the effort is 100%. But it's just so inconsistent.
Especially in blocking.
Yes. Yeah. I think he blocks like pretty damn well, like, with the best of them as far as the skill position players. But for the effort to be as inconsistent as it is on a team like this, where effort is rewarded like it is, it's weird to see, and it is a little worrying. I hope it's better.
All right. Keep your head. Ben Johnson gets too cute from an ego standpoint. Real concern or fake concern?
Fake concern. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's an absolute killer. Like, this guy has completely revolutionized a franchise that has not known offense for 100+ years. Outside of a couple of years, outside of a Mark Trestman led Bears offense in 2013, and the Bears offense was good in 2018 because it had a great defense, and 85 it was really good too, but we weren't alive for that. So
true.
To have a modern offense in Chicago, and it's because of him. Like, he is good. It doesn't lie on tape, and it shows up in the games. He is good, and he absolutely has every right to have a little bit of an ego about it. And he doesn't even have a big ego about it at all.
Ego more so from the standpoint of like, watch this.
I love that. I fucking love that. I love that. Change the game. Change the game. Okay, put your name. Hold on, real quick. In gymnastics, when a new skill is performed,
the souk,
it is named after you. You perform it in an international competition. That skill is etched in history with your name on it. Ben Johnson should absolutely
do a flip and then catch the bar again.
Tkachev, I think.
Yeah, Tkachev. Yeah. That's the one that I was thinking of, if it's not that trick. But yeah.
But Ben Johnson should absolutely, like, the Johnson style of offense.
The Johnson
will be yes, it will be laterals. It will be a split zone run game. And it will be guys just running fucking butt naked wide open. Caleb Williams throwing it to him.
Love it. All right.
Go for it.
Real concern or fake concern? CPOE.
That's fake concern. Fake concern. Caleb Williams' completion percentage, while it's not great, is due in large part due to the fact that we, I'm pretty sure lead the league in drops. He throws the ball away a lot in an effort to reduce sacks.
True, which he doesn't take.
Which is good. Like it is better to throw the ball away than to take a sack. Like I would rather a lower completion percentage and less sacks than him passing at a 65% clip, but he's getting sacked 10 more times a game and you're not scoring.
Yep.
I would like it. Also, I would like it to be fixed, but it is not a concern.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's a concern, but it's not concerning.
Yes, it's not concerning. Exactly.
Just a quick note on that. Back to the darkest timeline, which was last year. You've talked about 200 before, right?
That's the stupidest bullshit of all time.
Which is dumb. But Ben Johnson,
2 touchdowns, 0 sacks. That's all it should be.
Okay, fair. But Ben Johnson earlier this year, or I guess whenever he got hired, said that Caleb he wants him to throw the ball with 70% completion. The fact that he's not like forcing that in the offense, or that he's kind of like sticking to his guns and letting Caleb throw it for much lower than that, I like that, because it feels like Eberflus was like, no, you did good this game, but 200, we got to do that. You know what I mean? Versus Ben Johnson's like, oh, dude, if you are going to play like this, like, yeah, we got to work on this, but don't fucking worry about it. So I like that.
I think Ben Johnson very easily could have came in here and been like, you're going to run Jared Goff's offense, and if you're not doing it, we are going to lose. And we would be losing.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's not at all what's happening.
Yep. Real concern or fake concern? Last 2 red zone trips equaled 3 points.
Real concern. That a real concern in the sense that it lost us the game. Mm-hmm. So it sucks. And that we couldn't hold on to a lead at all. But we also had the opportunity to score again, and with more time, we absolutely would have. But I'm not super worried that in the future, we have that opportunity again that we're going to convert. So, kind of small. Happy New Year's.
It was Cole. He's dipping, but yes.
Hey, Cole.
Shout Cole. Real concern or fake concern? Mark Trestman.
Fake concern. Ben Johnson is not Mark Trestman.
Not that Ben Johnson is Mark Trestman. More so that this team is kind of shaping up.
No, this team is so much better than that.
They are. No, they are. But they did give up 1 billion points on defense and score 1 billion points on offense. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
But there were games where we just like didn't show up at all on offense, and this team shows up every week, no matter what. Patriots game, Packers game.
Patriots game, we did get a sick. We got a sick sack late in that game, an awesome sack late in that game. So it wasn't for nothing, at least, right? We might have lost by 50 points, but at least we got a sack in the 4th quarter with 4 minutes to go. Shout out. Lamar Houston, was that?
Yeah, Lamar Houston tore his ACL celebrating a meaningless sack.
Which is like
dumbass.
Tells you everything you need to know, though, about that team and how much they respect their head coach.
Exactly. This is not.
That would have happened on this team.
This is not that team.
Ben wouldn't even like be mad. He would just be like, that guy's going to die. Like he would just look at somebody.
Yes.
He'd be like, and then it would
be like you're ineligible for health insurance.
Exactly.
And you're cut from this team.
It's fire. And then last one, probably the most realistic one of all of them, I guess. But real concern or fake concern, Odunze came out as a Glover. I feel like he's more of a slider, personally.
Yeah, I see. I thought that he was gonna be more of a chair. You know, talking about the pro sitters.
Yes, dude.
But
Caleb's a hat guy, which not expected, but that's fire.
The people who like move the hats with their mouths.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rome. I'd say if you're gonna give our wide, I think Rome's a Glover. Luther is a slider.
100%.
Caleb's a hat guy, and Loveland is a chair guy, and Cole Kmet planks. That's Cole.
Cole Kmet's a planker. Let's go, Cole. I like it, dude. Planking, what a funny trend, because it wasn't even really planks. It was just like I'm gonna just lay down, like, you know. But yeah, interesting. So that's what I had.
Nice. That's pretty good. Well, we're coming up towards the end of our video.
Our New Year special.
coming, to our New Year's special end of the year. We'll do just a Bears New Year's resolution. What do you think? One thing that the Bears could fix for next year, whether it's something a player could do, a team, a coach, anything of the sort. I have one.
I have one too.
I'm gonna try to divert from the obvious.
Okay. I think mine's not so obvious either. Mine, I don't know if it's more of a resolution or if it's more of like a kind of like a wish, I guess.
Oh, sure. It's a little bit of both because it's not us doing it, but
yeah. So my New Year's resolution for the Bears is to retain Al Harris.
I love that. I think it'll be very, very challenging. And I was talking about this yesterday. I think there was a tweet that was about the Lions letting Ben Johnson leave, and it was, don't let a genius leave your building.
Yes.
It feels too early to let Al Harris sort of get a promotion and like take Dennis Allen's job as D coordinator.
Right.
But Al Harris has been so good, and he will be a D coordinator somewhere. I think if you're the Bears, you have to consider all things that you can do to keep him in this building.
Hey, money talks at the end of the day too.
Yeah. There are rules though, as far as like
how much you can't pay like a non-coordinator higher than a coordinator and stuff like that.
Yeah. And you can't.
And other teams are able to like offer more and stuff like that.
Yeah, like it's very weird. You can't take a demotion if you go to a different team either. It's
right.
It's interesting.
If it's in the same division too, you can't take you have to take a promotion.
Yeah, so it'll be tough. I think Al Harris is just, his value is immeasurable to this team, and
it's also a little bit cool because he has one of the most legendary Packers plays of all time. So we get to kind of step on that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Shot Hasselback. We're going to get the ball and we're going to score.
Yeah. And then my resolution, pretty basic. I was going to go pass rush, but that feels like too basic. Although we desperately need a pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
I do want.
Just seems like it will be addressed.
Yeah. I want Caleb to spend the offseason with whatever biomechanic expert that Josh Allen spent his offseason with going into his third year, and work on his accuracy. Now, I am not saying Caleb is inaccurate. I will say he just occasionally misses some throws.
He could be more accurate. So could everybody.
Yes, so could everybody. But I think this is stuff that requires putting work in during the offseason. Not every coaching staff is fortunate enough to have guys who can solve that problem. I am not sure if the Bears have a guy on their staff who can sort of help Caleb overcome some of the accuracy issues he's been facing. But I would like him to spend time this offseason, working on that, come back sharp, and then win the MVP in 2026 or
at least the MVP.
Or the MVP. I genuinely think Caleb Williams will be an MVP next year or the year after. I'll call my shot right now. I think you go out there and you fix your accuracy issues. If you can complete 10% more passes, that's a big ask. That's a very big ask. Yeah. It's a very big ask. But if you can, and I absolutely think he's capable.
It's possible.
Think about the potential of this team of Caleb Williams. It's unstoppable. So I would like for Caleb to, I want to see on Caleb's Instagram stories that he is out there working with a trainer in Florida with Luther Burden, with Roma Odunze, with Zachariah Branch, with those dudes, and a coach who's helping him work on his mechanics. Although I actually don't think there's anything wrong with his mechanics. I think he throws it pretty well. It's probably something with the way like his feet, his hips, and his shoulders line up. You want that to be as fluid as possible.
When he's moving, when he's on the run, his mechanics are as good as I've ever seen.
It is,
but when he's in the pocket, he doesn't always get 10 cleats in the ground. He doesn't always get his base very strong. And his elbow can be a little bit weird. Can be a little bit weird.
Caleb does shit on the run, on the football field that you cannot do in Madden. You can't do in a video game.
Dude's fast. Vikings throw in the week 1, we lost. The throw that he made to Rome.
Yes.
You go back and watch that play. He jumps off of his left foot.
Stupid.
He jumps off of his right foot. So the power comes up from his right foot all the way up to his arm and it releases. And then he lands on his right foot. He does a triple jump. Like he jumps off of his right foot, lands on his right foot. It's ludicrous stuff. Can't teach it. You literally can't do it in Madden because it'd be too glitchy. Which is awesome. But yeah, like Rodgers seems to always finish with like his elbow about as straight as you can get it. Like on almost all throws, which is like some people will say like really ideal for mechanics. Caleb sometimes is like pretty short armed. But yeah, I mean, it can all be fixed. It can all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about what it looks like because to be honest, I think his throwing motion is like as perfect as can be.
Silky.
I think.
Yeah, it's silky.
I think it has something to do with the alignment of his feet and his hips, or his hips and his shoulders,
feet, for sure.
That might need to be worked on. I would just like
really
hopefully to be something that he's working on. That's my New Year's resolution for the Bears going into next year.
Hell yeah!
But you got a desk item to send us off into the new year?
I do have a desk item. Check that out. That's a Johnny's Beef gift card. And it's from the fellas.
Oh my God.
And it's from the fellas.
You got me.
I did get you.
How did you change that? How does it say the fellas?
I got 3 of them. One of them said the boys. One of them said the fellas. Forget what the third one said.
Yeah,
but,
I can't remember.
Johnny's Beef. We can't give him enough shout outs.
Yes.
This was one of the very cool birthday gifts I got. Shout out me. Another one from you was pretty sick. Shout out Infante.
We'll hopefully be having another guest, or not another guest. Our first guest on the show, a member of Chicago Bears Twitter, Jacob Infante. Reached out to him. Graham hops in his Twitter live streams after the games, or when he does them. I reached out to him. He does cameos. Got a cameo for Smalley's birthday. It's pretty awesome. And told him about our podcast, and he said he'd love to join. So we got to hit him up on Twitter.
Hit him up.
And hopefully we'll have a guest on pretty soon. It might save it for the off season. We'll see.
Definitely off season.
But very exciting.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, again, well, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for watching this year with us. I have a lot of fun making these. Sometimes, I don't feel like recording, but then I hop on and I just shoot the shit. We talk Bears with Smalley.
It's a very quick hour. I'll say that.
Yeah, it is. And I love getting texts from my family and my friends, and I love seeing people out and they're like, "I watch your podcast," and it's great, and it's a lot of fun. So,
tell us if you see us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, and if you haven't talked to us in a while, shoot us a text, say Happy New Year, and thanks for listening. I hope you guys have a great new year. Smalley, what a year it's been, man. What a year it's been. To an even better one in 2026.
And it's going to be a good one. And yeah, if anybody needs Michael's phone number,
nope,
it is,
we are